Good afternoon. Well, I appreciate the governor addressing the General Assembly today with his vision of where Pennsylvania he wants to see it go. What we heard is more of the same that we heard last budget session. This budget is more about spending, more taxes, more debt. It pays lip service, as the senator said, to many of our special interests in the Commonwealth, but it lacks a lot of key details needed to be successful in implementing the governor's vision. This budget is long on aspirations and short on details. After hearing the governor's budget address, two things struck me. The first is that this administration is not serious about controlling spending and following the laws enacted by this General Assembly with the budget. Supplemental numbers this year that have been submitted by him for requests for this fiscal year are way too high, and we need to find a way to get that spending under control. The two biggest offenders of overspending are, as usual, suspects, the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Corrections. The governor's proposal says that DHS needs an additional $492 million in the current year. When you dig into the proposal, you can see they also buried another $307 million in current year costs, which will be pushed into next fiscal year. That means DHS needs an additional $800 million just in its current fiscal year. That's an overage of 6%. In the private sector, people would be fired for those kind of overages and lack of performance. Just another day here for us politicians. Time and time again, we see overtime costs run in this budget in the Department of Corrections. This year's proposal, the governor is seeking an additional $90 million for corrections. Our prison population is lower. We have built new prisons to help improve safety and efficiencies and closed old and outdated prisons. It is unacceptable to have overspending in the Corrections Department. As we move through the budget process, these two agencies will be a major focus of our hearings. DHS accounts for over 80% of this new spending in his current proposal. Reform is needed. The path we are on is simply unsustainable. The second thing that struck me in this budget address today was the amount of debt that this governor is calling for. In short, this year, the governor wants to increase the debt in Pennsylvania on working families by over $5 billion. Let me repeat, our increased debt load on Pennsylvanians of $5 billion. We have made some key steps toward getting Pennsylvania's debt under control, working with the House, the Senate, and the governor in doing so over the last several years. It's easy just to put things on credit cards and then ask other people in the future to pay for it. That's not a solution for Pennsylvania. House Republicans and senators are going to continue to work on this budget to make it more fiscally responsible, put more money in the rainy day fund, and have a lower spend number than what the governor is proposing today.